Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and welcome you to my weekly reading for the week of February 7th through the 13th. We are well into Mercury retrograde now, and that can be pretty heavy. This week, we're looking at a new moon coming in, plus we have the added excitement of the Chinese New Year occurring on Friday. This week offers us so much. However, with everything that's bogging and weighing us down, it can be easily missed. I want to focus in on some of these opportunities, some of these ways that we can embrace that light and love, helping us to raise our vibration and helping us through some of these harder and more challenging times. And yes, like always, I will map out some of the challenges and obstacles we're going to face over the week. However, we want to focus in on what we can utilize to our advantage to overcome those challenges while maintaining and raising that vibration. The decks I chose, I had to use my Solaris Tarot. I just got it last week and I couldn't wait to get my hands working with this deck. Then I paired it with the Enchanted Map Oracle. I felt the two of them would work really well together. Then I topped everything off with the Inspired Living expansion pack of the Sovereign Oracle. We need that inspiration now. Between Mercury retrograde and all that we're dealing with globally, that inspiration, it's really well appreciated right now. And of course, like always, I do have links below to all these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. And my selections this week, I went with Picture Stone, Rose Quartz, and some Carnelian. I want you to choose whichever crystal resonates with you right now. It may not be your favorite crystal, but it's the one that keeps catching your eye. Then I want you to head into the description box. There you're going to find timestamps. Click on your crystal's correlating timestamp. It's going to take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Picture Stone friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Picture Stone friends. Whoa, that's important. What can my Picture Stone friends expect from the week of February 7th through the 13th? One ring circus. You know, sometimes that really sums up your life. There seems to be so much going on and it's hard to contain. However, when we start to trust in ourselves, we become the circus master, the ring tamer. We are able to juggle so many balls. It may be a bit of a challenge. However, when we start to give ourselves permission, give ourselves that energy and time, it's amazing what we can accomplish. Additionally, the more we give back to us through rejuvenating and loving us, the more we're going to be able to tame that unruly and wild circus that we're dealing with. So this week, it's about connecting in with us, rejuvenating us, and in some cases, teaching us a few new tricks to make this circus even more exciting. Let's get some more information here. What should my picture stone friends focus in on this week? Oh, how fantastic. Romance. Trust you can always romance yourself as needed. Let the world woo you with beauty and pleasure. Explore the need for romance by cultivating loving relationships. Those first two are very important. Not that the third isn't important. However, this week, it's really about embracing and celebrating us. That romance, it's part of, well, the entire month. That romantic and loving energy, it's floods February. This week, though, we need to focus in and rejuvenate and love us. Strengthening and increasing our abilities. That's what's going to support us the most. Sure, loving relationships, they're going to only be that cherry on top. It's not what we want to focus in on. However, those positive relationships will nurture and support us throughout this week. It's very important that we feel strong and able to manage our inner circus so that we are strong and able to overcome those challenges that lie ahead of us. We need this circus to push us forward, to drive us even further. And to do that, it needs that strong leader. It needs you to be at the height of you. So, let's look at this week a little bit more. What can my picture stone friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Three of Cups. That celebration and connection card. Like I said, we're not going to be focusing in too much on that romance of others. It's more that relationship with self. However, many of us are feeling really depleted. We do need that added nurturing and added support of our loved ones, whether that be a romantic relationship or someone special to us. We need to reach out and ask for the help that we need. And if we don't know through words what we need, connecting in and allowing that beautiful, loving energy to flow. Taking that time for you, connecting in with those positive, loving people will support you in nurturing you. It rejuvenates us. It strengthens us. The beginning of the week, especially if we're feeling a little bit run down and overwhelmed, reaching out for that support to get us back on our feet, get us going, recharge us a bit so we can focus in on, well, that circus. We need to stand up and be that ringleader that will guide the circus forward, rather than allowing the circus to explode all around us. We need to get ourselves moving, get ourselves going. Step 1, get ourselves back on our feet. So let's look at step 2. Let's look at the middle of the week. What does the middle of the week bring my picture stone friends? The Hierophant, the 5th card in the Major Arcana. And yes, you can expect some teachers to start to come forward. However, this week we're not going to be connecting in too much with them. They may make themselves known to you. However, this week it's about those opportunities the Hierophant offers you. The Hierophant is that bridge between us and that universal energy, that universal knowledge or source. He has the ability to open up doors and opportunities that we're not quite ready for until we meet the Hierophant's requirements. How we do that is raising our vibration. Now, I know that sounds a little bit challenging, but really it's not. To raise your vibration, you need to be focusing in on those aspects that are going right. Partaking in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment in a life-giving way. We want to partake in those creative and passion-filled aspects. Another way we can raise our vibration, of course, is by taking care and nurturing self. So making sure that you're getting enough sleep, you're drinking lots of water, eating healthy food, and, well, loving you, taking care of you. When we start to do that, we raise our vibration. When we raise our vibration, these opportunities become known to us. They knock at our door, if you will. We get those aha moments, those moments of clarity, so we can embrace these opportunities. Embrace some shifting that will eventually bring about that change. We're going to start to take control of the circus rather than the circus controlling us. That's a big shift. It's not going to feel like a big shift. However, the effects of you taking more control, being more present in your everyday, will allow you to take control of what's been controlling you. I know it's a lot to get your mind around, so I'll say it again. When you start to live in the everyday, in the here and now, you no longer feel overrun and bombarded by life. You're able to tame it. You have more control over what you're experiencing. So those opportunities become more prevalent. You're more able to explore and have some fun in this lifetime. Learn what it is you wanted to learn. Experience what it is you wanted to experience. Bringing in that fulfillment, that connection, and, of course, that abundance. The higher our vibration, the more work we do on self, well, the more rewards we're going to get. We're working at what it is we signed up for. The universe will reward us for that. The universe will bring in added perks and added abundances. Will help to bring in added supports as we need to further our pathway, further our understanding. So it truly is a win-win situation. Shifting your perspective rather than allowing everything to occur and you just sit there idly watching things go by. Taking that deep breath in, standing up, and embracing your life. Making some high vibrational, life-giving choices. Now, when we make a choice, we don't need to make big change in our life. When we do that, actually, we have a tendency to fall backwards more than we ever did before. We want to take those small shifts, adding in and incorporating different elements into your everyday. That way you have stable, consistent shifting and progression, rather than leaps and bounds that become unstable and we have a tendency to topple. Taking things one step at a time and embracing them. Bringing things in slowly and progressively. So, what I'm suggesting this week is that we be more active in our present, in our here and now. We don't want to get caught up in the past where we're focusing in on what we could have done, what should have happened, what would have, or hyper-focusing in on the fears and the worries of the future. You're focusing in on the present. What's happening right now? What experience are you experiencing? What are you feeling? What messages and repetitions are being left for you? Those messages, they're there. They're hidden in plain sight. We don't see them until we slow down. And that is what we're looking at. Those opportunities, those messages, they are there. It's time to shift our focus into right here and right now. So the middle of the week, that focus is going to be really important. We're looking at rejuvenation at the beginning and then that focus shift in the middle. We're going to feel more able to take on and start to focus in on right now, especially as we gain that added support from our friends and family. Let's go into the end of the week. What can my picture stone friends expect from the end of the week? Oh, wow. The Empress, the third card in the Major Arcana. So we're looking at some bigger energies here. This week has 2 Major Arcana. And Major Arcana are those bigger energies, those bigger life experiences. So the end of the week, we're looking at those opportunities, really making a difference in your everyday. That's what happens with the Major Arcana. They impact those everyday aspects in a big way. And this big way is impressive. We have the Empress, that divine feminine energy of growth and abundance. The more we're connected in and invested in right now, the more we're going to get out of it. Like I said, the universe likes to reward us. What's more, we have that ability to start to create and manifest aspects that are going to be more meaningful for us. Again, it's up to us to put action to these words, put action to these ideas. And like I said before, that action does not mean leaps and bounds. It means taking it one step at a time. But most importantly is that we are actively taking these ideas and opportunities and making a move with them. The Empress is not only going to support us in this week, but in days and weeks to come. She's the fertility goddess. She supports us with ongoing growth and development. We have that ability to start to plant seeds within ourselves so that different aspects and pieces start to emerge as we continue to focus in and nurture us. A big part of why we're here in this lifetime is to do some healing. And that healing, it's experiences that we've had throughout this lifetime, past lifetimes, trauma that we're carrying on our ancestral lines. It's vast and a lot. We're not going to be able to do it in one day or 1 week. It's going to take some time. So the more we work on that healing, start to care for ourselves, love ourselves, the stronger and more open we're going to be to emerging aspects, to emerging possibilities. So taking that time and nurturing and loving self will go a long way in embracing this week. One of the first steps you can take in working on this healing would be working with Archangel Raphael. Months and months ago, I brought out a meditation where we worked on that healing. It's a fantastic meditation to start off this process. or to reignite this process. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about what I'm talking about, I do have 2 playlists of meditations. These are guided meditations that are free to you to use as you need. Of course, the first playlist is a playlist that I collaborate with archangels to work on that healing. And then the second is another playlist called Just You and Me, where it's just you and me. And we work on some tools to support you in overcoming the challenges that we're facing. Like I said, these are free meditations for you to use as you need. And a fantastic one, of course, is to start off with Archangel Raphael, to get some of that general healing started. And this week, I'm actually looking at posting another meditation that I did with Archangel Chamuel. It'd be my 3rd meditation with him. Right now, I think he's winning the Archangel total of meditations, but hey, who knows what's going to happen in 2021. But we're looking at that loving energy. He's the archangel of love, if you will. So that romance to self, it's another element that's going to be needed. I don't know when I'm going to be posting that meditation. It's going to depend on when I can get everything completed. However, it will be sometime in this week. It's a meditation you can keep your eye out for. And again, utilize to your advantage throughout the week to support you in overcoming some of that challenge and heaviness we're dealing with. And speaking of challenge, let's head off to the challenge, because every week I'd like to explore that challenge that we're going to face. What challenge will my picture stone friends face for the week of February 7th through the 13th? The 5 of Cups. So 5s in Tarot and Oracle, they're about challenge. And in the Cups, that's very true. The 5 of Cups talks about focusing in on aspects that aren't serving you. They're holding you back, while ignoring and avoiding aspects that will serve you. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she has this hooded or cloaked figure who's mourning the loss of 3 overturned cups. And behind her are 2 upright cups that she's ignoring. She couldn't be bothered with. And this week, we're really going to be resisting what it is those 2 upright cups are suggesting, creating a more balanced and harmonious self that is engaged with your everyday. That resistance, well, it's going to cause stagnation. It's going to allow that circus to run wild. It's important when we feel that resistance, that uncertainty, that we check into it. Is it something that your ego is creating to cause stagnation? Or is it based in something more? When we start to critically think and analyze our situation, we're able to gain a better and clearer picture. That clearer picture and critical thinking, the Hierophant supports that, because you're starting to open up to the knowledge of that universal energy. Additionally, that critical thinking, it starts to debunk things, creating a stable foundation, which supports the growth the Empress is encouraging. Now, there are many ways that we can create stability within ourselves to help us feel more able to take on some of this work that needs to happen. And let's be honest, we're not looking at back-breaking work. We're looking at working different muscles and different aspects of self that we have been neglecting a bit. We're able to create stability through things like meditation. I have a number of grounding meditations in both playlists that you can utilize. So for example, I have one in my Archangel Healing Meditation list that I work with Archangel Ariel. And believe me, if you've never really felt grounded, try that meditation. It's fantastic. She helps ground you like you've never been grounded before. Additionally, I have another one with Archangel Sandalphon that brings in balance and harmony that can help quiet that inner whirlwind. Additionally, I have a grounding meditation and a stability meditation in my Just You and Me playlists. Now, meditation in itself is a calming tool that you can use to help calm and tame that inner circus. When we meditate, we're consciously focusing in on breath, not on what could have, would have, or should have been. You're focusing in, again, on the here and now. When we do that, you're focusing in on your breath. You're taking control of how you're responding, what you're focusing in on. You're calming that inner self. You're lowering your blood pressure. And you're also starting to balance out your brain. We have a tendency to focus in and use one aspect or one sphere of our brain more than others. When you meditate, you start to balance that out, creating the ability to critically think and question what's happening. Again, opening you up because you're calming that inner self, you're nurturing and romancing self. Well, guess what? You're raising your vibration big time. Leaps and bounds time, helping you to be open to even more support, guidance, and opportunity. So that's why I'm a big proponent of meditation. It's important. We need to focus in on what's life-giving rather than what's holding us back. The universe will only allow so much stagnation before it decides to step in and kick us in the pants to get us going. And nobody needs that right now because as a society, we have had a tower-esque type year. We don't need any more kicking in the pants. We want to do this on our own accord. We get more out of it. And of course, we're rewarded more clearly for this work. Now, we do have a message here hidden in plain sight. Like I said, these messages, this wisdom, it's everywhere. Slowing down and paying attention. The Hierophant is the 5th card in the Major Arcana. The 5 of Cups, well, it's the 5th card in the Minor Arcana. When you have multiple 5s like that, the angels are telling you a positive change is coming your way. And what's more, you should be excited for these next steps, this next big adventure. Additionally, we have a second one. I was waiting to see if we were going to get a 3 or a 5. I heard we were getting another multiple, so I waited off. The Empress, 3rd card in the Major Arcana. 3 of Cups. Well, we've got another 3 in the minor suit. When you have that multiple 3, the angels are telling you something close to your heart needs to be expressed, and that we need to use creativity to our advantage to let it out and express it. Like I said earlier, that creativity is going to be an important role in this week. Expressing ourselves helps us to connect in with us, nurture us, and understand us even more. So this week does offer us a lot. Even though in 4 or 5 cards, we're repeating and reconfirming the same message. So let's go on and get some added support here. Let's get into some blessings. What blessings can my picture stone friends embrace for the week of February 7th through the 13th? Now, if we really, really want to get going in these messages, You have 2 cups here and 2 major arcana. With that multiple 2, the angels are telling you to keep the faith and don't give up. And what's more, it's time to listen to your intuition for that guidance that you need. Like I said, there's messages hidden in plain sight. We just need to take that time and acknowledge them. Start to understand them. Into the unknown. I love this card. It's so pretty. So there's a lot of unknown, especially as we start to focus in on self, open ourselves up to that guidance and direction. And this next big adventure, well, it's full of unknown, which is going to aggravate your ego. And it's going to start to scream and resist change, resist the shifting. Because adventures, that next step, well, that's a change in current circumstance. Your ego does not want you to be focusing in on what's happening in the here and now. Because when we do that, we're more empowered and more able to make some choices for our greater good, rather than staying in that stagnant, mournful, fearful place. So, yes, we're going into the unknown, and it kind of feels like we've got the blinders on and we've got our hands up and we're not too sure what to expect. Re-ground yourself when you're having these kind of almost panic attacks, when we're feeling unstable and unsure. It will help take those blinders off so we can embrace all the beauty, all the wonder, and all the abundance that's right around us. She has no idea of what's going on around her. She's caught up in that fear. It's time to ground yourself, stabilize yourself, so you can start to take those blinders off and understand what's happening for you right here and right now. Stuck in the mud. Yep. Many of us feel that we're just going and doing the same thing day in and day out. We need to start to break some patterns and make some high vibrational choices for our greater good. Without that critical thinking and assessment, we're not going to be able to break those patterns. We will continue to walk in this circle. We will stay stagnant and stuck in what we're currently dealing with. Sometimes we feel like we're breaking free, and then we don't break that pattern. We get back into that worry, that fear, those would-haves, those could-haves, those should-haves, rather than the opportunities that are right in front of you. Our ego has a fantastic way of misdirecting us back to the same circle. We're not paying attention. We're not in the here and now. That's how we're not breaking these patterns that we keep repeating. And we'll be doomed to repeat until we learn that lesson. To live here and now. Not in the past, not in the future. Right here and right now. We have to have an understanding of the past and the future, but when we hyper-focus in on either aspect, we're not able to give ourselves that energy, that time, and of course, permission to engage in what's happening right here and right now. So let's go on and finish this off with any further insight, guidance, and wisdom that we can share with my picture stone friends for the week of February 7th through the 13th. I love this card. The King of Wands, Yoda himself. We need to allow those passions, that inner fire, that drive to push us forward. Without doing that, we're going to lack that commitment, that connection to what is happening right here, right now, and we're going to disconnect. Most of us feel that disconnection anyway. We don't understand how what's happening right here and right now is impacting us. We're just kind of this idle bystander who's not doing anything. We need the connection and understanding of how we're playing an integral role in our lives, even when we're not. When we're just standing there idly, watching the world go by, watching us go circling and circling, that is a choice. A lack of choice is still a choice. We need that passion, that determination to break free of that obsessive pattern so that we can sustain and maintain that growth and development that is being offered to us. The more we're connected in and invested in our everyday, the more we're going to get out of it. The more understanding we'll have. That's not surprising to see him. The Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana. The Devil, of course, is a depiction of our ego. It's that symbolic depiction of what's holding us back. That lower vibrational self that is causing stagnation, is perpetuating these patterns. This week is very much about facing your inner devil and using the force and conquering it. It's up to us. We're the only ones who can remove the nooses that are around our neck. It's hard to see in this depiction. However, in the original depiction that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, you could see very clearly that at any given time, the man and the lady that are standing in that card could easily remove the chains that are around their neck, but are choosing not to. Like I said before, the lack of choice is still a choice nonetheless. So it's up to us to start to remove those nooses, start to take back our lives and our experiences. Now, there is a meditation that I brought out last week that can support you in starting to break free of some of these chains to help you get unstuck. And that's actually what I called it. I don't like to add fluffy names to things. I want you guys to know exactly what the meditation is about. It's called Getting Unstuck. It's a nice meditation. It's again, 30 minutes. And I'm sure that I'm going to be bringing out a number of these meditations to help you start to break these patterns and break free of what's holding you back. It's a fantastic meditation to start to take control, start to make some choices for you. So I would encourage you this week to engage in that meditation as you need. And finally, the Fool, the 0 card in the Major Arcana. And you guys have 4 out of, 6 cards, Major Arcana. This week is about shifting on a bigger scale. Not that we need to do big shifts, but that shift, it's going to be felt a lot more and on a grander scale than what other shifts may feel. Now, the Fool talks about that new beginning, that new adventure, which is very true. As you start to connect in with that present, with your everyday, you're going to be able to engage with those opportunities. And those opportunities bring about that new adventure. Shifting your perspective, shifting where your attention is directed, will support you in getting yourself not only unstuck, but off to that next exciting, next fulfilling and abundant adventure. It's into the unknown. And yes, the unknown can be scary, But, this big but, can be very, very fulfilling, amazing, and abundant. We just need to take that time, slow down, trust in the universe, because I know it's hard to believe, but the universe is not out to get us. It sometimes feels that way, but it's not. It wants to see us succeed, evolve, and grow. And this week offers you that ability to make that shift of perspective and direction of energy to make a change and a difference in your everyday. And it's a change and a difference that is stemmed in stability, because we're just focusing in on right here and right now. Because right here and right now is where the opportunities are, not tangled up in the past or out of reach in the future. They're right here and right now. We just need to reach out and embrace them. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which helps people raise their vibration as a whole. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's so much more coming your way this year. It is fantastic. The best way to stay connected, though, is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. I don't post on a specific day. I like to post sporadically throughout the week. So not only is it keeping you on your toes, but the videos hit home when they need to. Additionally, if you did like this video and you want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. And you can go check it out. I did put a link in the description box below. So if you do feel like you want to support me, you can go check out my page, as it does have lots of perks, including a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. Like I said, I did provide a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my picture stone friends. Hello and welcome, my rose quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my rose quartz friends. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the week of February 7th through the 13th? The Bone Collector. Kind of creepy, but important. So the Bone Collector talks about all the skills, the abilities, and aspects of self that we've brought forward into this lifetime. We have the skills, the abilities, and the talents that we need to overcome the diversities and challenges of this lifetime. And what's more, experience and develop ourselves even further, helping to heal and, well, continue on that evolution that our spirit and soul is trying to evolve to. We need to start to trust in ourselves, our abilities, and our talents. This week is going to offer you some opportunities to strengthen your resolve about self, helping you to understand you on a deeper level, helping you to identify some of these talents and skills that may still be hidden within ourselves. This connection, this understanding is going to help with our development, help with our growth, which of course will help us overcome some of these bigger challenges that we're facing. That old proverb, "The truth will set you free," is very true this week. This week is about knowledge and understanding of self, our skills, our abilities, and what we're holding within. Let's get a little bit more insight into this. What should my rose quartz friends focus in on this week? Haha, nice. Dance. Synchronize your spirit with the movement of life. Find a rhythm and let it propel you, music or not. Soak up the Leela of the universe. It's time to let that inner toddler out and dance like no one's watching. Connecting in with that beat of your own drummer. Connecting in to those inner aspects and pieces, those building blocks of you. And only you can do this. Only you have the ability to connect in with you on that deeper level. And this week, like I said, it's going to offer you those opportunities to dance and have fun with self. And whatever you do, don't minimize that energy perspective. When you enjoy that connection, love that connection, you're going to get a lot more out of it than if you dread or fear that connection and what you're holding within. Let's get into this week a little bit more. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Empress, the third card in the Major Arcana. That growth, that development, that fertility. Well, we're starting off on day one. We're allowing ourselves that time for self, nurturing you, allowing you to dance and enjoy. Like I said, that energy perspective, it's essential. Having fun and giving back to you will support you in understanding you more fully. We need this nurturing energy to support us in connecting in with some pieces and aspects that we haven't quite connected in with for some time. That love, that connection, it's important. Now, at the beginning of the week, we want to focus in on that connection to self, that love of self. And I have a number of meditations that I've collaborated with Archangel Chamuel with. And if you're new to my channel and aren't sure of what I'm talking about, I have a number of meditations. They're split up into two playlists. One is Healing with the Archangels, and the other is called Just You and Me. And the Healing with the Archangels, well, that's what it's about, is healing. And then that Just You and Me playlist, well, it's like it says, it's just you and me working on some tools to support you in overcoming these challenges. These meditations, they're guided and they're about 30 minutes long. They are free to you to use as you need, and you can repeatedly use them so that you can continue to gain that support of the meditation, the healing from the archangels or myself, and then of course that guidance, those tools. So back to Archangel Chamuel. That self-love, that care, that understanding, it's an important element of this week. Now, sometime this week, I don't think I'll have it ready for the beginning of the week, but throughout the week, I will be bringing out a meditation with Archangel Chamuel. It's my third meditation with him. So keep your eye out for that, but you can go back and use the first two meditations I've done with him to your advantage, helping to care for you, helping you to slow down so you can connect into that beat, your inner beat. So we can start to connect in to those elements of understanding and growth. Now, this is the Empress, guys, so we've got a lot of fertility in the beginning of the week. Can be really beneficial when it comes to creativity in trying to produce things. And this is a fantastic part. The Empress will support us in planting seeds through this connection of self, this understanding of self, that we can use at a later date, allowing aspects and elements within to flourish and to grow. And we can use them at a later date. That abundance, it starts to flow on all avenues of self. Many of us just identify abundance as material or financial wealth. However, we can have abundance start to flow in on all aspects of self, allowing for a more balanced and fulfilling experience. So the beginning of the week, it's about taking time for you, taking time with self, helping you to connect in to those inner energies and giving them a little bit of much needed love. And of course, we are in February, so we have the month of love. A lot of people start to focus in on that loving energy, so there's more of it around. We're able to utilize that loving energy that's all over the place to our advantage by directing it towards us. Let's go into the middle of the week. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the middle of the week? Now, it's interesting that the first card I picked up was the Empress. And the message I'm receiving is that self-love and caring for self, nurturing you. The rose quartz, it's connected in with Archangel Chamuel. It's the crystal that resonates most with him. His energy signature, his auric signature, is this light pink. Really confirming that need to work with Archangel Chamuel, reaching out and connecting into his amazing energies to support us in understanding us a little bit better. The Five of Cups. Anytime you see that 5 in tarot or an oracle, you're looking at that challenge number. It's a challenge card. We have that adversity and instability that comes with the 5. Now, with the 5 of Cups, you're looking at focusing in on the wrong aspects. Our energy, our attention is focused in on 3 of the 5 cups. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she has this cloaked figure mourning the overturned cups. There's 3 of them. Well, there's 2 cups behind her standing straight up and down. It talks about how we're focusing in on aspects and pieces that aren't life-giving. They're draining us, where we're not focusing in on what's really and truly important. Really echoing that need to start to care for self. Balancing out our day a little bit more so we can incorporate that time for us. In the middle of the week, it's really important that we have that balance. Yes, we need to get those aspects and pieces done that meet our physical demands and needs. However, we do also need to incorporate in more self-time, connecting in to that healing and nurturing of self, connecting in to some creativity and to some fun. We have this dance card, and we need to let that energy out. We need to have some fun and a laugh. That fun and a laugh will help to raise our vibration and shift the energies of our week, shifting from the 3 of Cups that aren't working so well and back onto those 2 cups that the universe keeps trying to encourage you to embrace. That balance, that high vibration, that's what we need to be focusing in on. The higher our vibration, the more we're going to be able to receive the guidance and insight of the high vibrational beings and our high vibrational support team, which of course is going to lead back really well to these aspects and pieces that we don't know we're carrying. There's many aspects that we're hiding within ourselves because we have shut them down. And a lot of us have shut down our intuitive abilities. Well, guess what, guys? We have that ability to work on that. We have the ability to start to tap back in and start to flex that skill, flex those muscles. We all have intuitive abilities. Some of us just may feel a little bit more comfortable using them than others. Like I said, it's a skill. It's time to get on our intuitive bike and start to pedal. Now, if intuition and using our intuitive skills are new to you, I do have a meditation in my Just You and Me playlist where we start to reconnect in with our high vibrational support team. It's another meditation that can be easily used as much as you need to support you with your intuitive abilities, because that intuition is one of the abilities we brought with us. It's time to get going with it and have some fun. Don't get caught up in fear and heartache. That's your ego trying to slow you down. That's those 3 cups that are trying to misdirect you. It's time to connect in, have some fun, and, well, share the love. It's one of the things we do as we're starting to connect in and reconnect with our high vibrational support team. And in that introductory meditation, we're looking at reconnecting in with our guardian angel. It's a fantastic and gentle meditation to get you going with your intuitive abilities, helping you to strengthen that skill. Let's go on to the end of the week. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the end of the week? Oh, how fantastic. The Fool, the 0 card in the Major Arcana. That new beginning. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, we have this very flamboyantly dressed man. He's got this outrageous tunic and tights on, and he's got his man bag on his shoulder and his little white dog. Talks about enjoying our path, trusting the universe, knowing that we've packed everything we need in our little man bag and we're ready to go. We're ready to embrace that adventure. When we're focusing in on those life-giving aspects that we're having a tendency to ignore right now, we start to shift gears. We start to embrace that growth and development of the Empress, which walks hand in hand with the Fool, supporting you in this experience and this lifetime. The end of the week, as we're starting to embrace those 2 cups we're ignoring, you're going to see those opportunities start to shine brightly, giving you even more excitement and reward for what it is we're doing. Remember, the universe likes to reward us for our hard work. And some of that hard work can entail something as simple as meditating, something as simple as connecting into our passions. And another element that we can start to connect in with more to embrace this energy and allow the universe to reward us is through our creativity. Cups are about emotion and intuition. And the cup is also a creative element because we're looking at that intuitive creativity. We can tap into that creativity because, again, that's another element we brought, and allow the universe to help guide us forward. We're not resisting it as we resist it in everyday practice. When we're in our creative mode, and whatever that creativity looks like, we're able to focus in on that life-giving, fun aspect. It takes us out of that focus in on the challenge or the problems. We're focusing in on something that gives us fulfillment and joy. We're shifting our gears and our energies into something that is life-giving. Well, the universe, again, starts to reward us by added insight, those aha moments, added supports through high vibrational beings or through physical supports. You get a call out of nowhere asking if they can help you out. The universe works in mysterious ways. We just need to work with the universe rather than resisting it. And speaking of resistance, and I know we have a stormtrooper there, not that kind of resistance, we're going to go on to the challenges, because every week we have individual and weekly challenges that we're going to face. So let's get into that. What challenge will my rose quartz friends face for the week of February 7th through the 13th? And I do apologize if this is picking up in camera. I don't know, I can't check it right now. But they're removing snow from around my house. So there's a lot of cars going up and down with snow plows and snow blowers. Added joy of living in Canada during winter. Our challenge is the World, the 21st card in the Major Arcana. And we're looking at those endings and those beginnings. We're going to resist that change. Resist the opportunities and the growth that this week is offering us. Our ego will start to scream and tantrum, wanting you to focus in on those 3 overturned cups. It doesn't want to focus in on those new beginnings, on what's to come. It would rather sit in stagnation, waiting for the universe to come in and kick you in the hiney. And it does that. We can't stay stagnant for too long. We get hyper-focused in on what's not working. The universe will rock our world so that we do move forward. We've got a lot of free will here. We've got choices. We need to use them to our advantage. When we have that fear, when we have that doubt, my suggestion, connect into some of that meditation. It calms that inner whirlwind. It calms that system. You're able to use more of your brain. There's scientific research that proves that instead of focusing in on that primary sphere of your brain that we all have, when you meditate, you're giving yourself a lot of oxygen and you're calming that system so you're able to have access to all aspects of your brain. You're also getting out of focusing in on what's not working because you're focusing in on your breath. You're going through a guided meditation or you're just focusing in on your breath. Depends on if you have a guided meditation or not. But you're not focusing in at the problem. That breath, that voice, it's all you're listening to. So you're getting out of your head again. And you're allowing for those aha moments. And when you do that, You're going to turn the world from an obstacle. Okay, fine. Go there. From an obstacle to an ally. You're going to use this challenge to your advantage. You're going to beat down your ego. That conflict. Another way that you can start to connect in and embrace what's to come is through focusing in on what's going right. Because the next chapter, this next big adventure, well, it's going to be in elements and aspects of what's going right in your life. So we can focus in on those. And should your ego really start to play up, ground yourself. I do have a grounding meditation in my Just You and Me playlist that can support you in that stable and grounded energy. Additionally, you can use something like this tiger iron crystal, if you have that in your repertoire of crystals, or something like a black obsidian. Any crystal that resonates on the black or the red hue will support you with that grounding and stable energy. The more stable you are, the more you're going to be able to combat your ego, which again will support you in that shift. We're not looking at major changes. I'm never a big proponent of those major changes. They're not stable. We need stable and maintainable shifts so that we can create change in our life that we're not going to fall backwards on. When we do leaps of faith or big changes in our life, they cause instability. Our ego comes in and creates fear and doubt, which causes regression. And then you have the added battle of trying to make changes and shifts with added fear and doubt in your history. So that small and stable progression, it is so much better, so much more maintainable. It's easy to focus in and take a little bit of time for self, having a little bit more fun, and have it support you in your adventure. And when I say fun, I mean things that are going to be life-giving. We don't want to just, focus in on what doesn't support us. That fun, it needs to be meaningful. When it's meaningful, that's when we see the most progression, the most shifting. So let's go on. We know that we want to focus in on that adventure. Focus in on self. Let's look at what other blessings can support us this week. What blessings can my rose quartz friends embrace? Whoops, there you go. This week. Now, before I get into the blessings, I should mention the World and the Fool in the original card. They're the only two major arcana that are in movement. The other ones, like the Empress and the Emperor, they're sitting or they're standing. They're not in movement. Even the Chariot, which is a movement card, you don't see the Chariot moving. It's standing there. Whereas the Fool, he's dancing down his pathway. And the World, she's also known as the Dancer, is in this victory wreath and she's dancing. They're the only two that are in movement. And that movement, it's important. That's why we have that dance. When I looked up from grabbing the cards, I saw dance, which triggered that association of the World and the Fool. It's going to be a big one for you guys. That dancing, that movement, connecting into you and your body. It's a fantastic week. Balancing act. Like I said before, we need to balance things out so that we're focusing in on more aspects of ourselves. Many of us are focusing in on our physical requirements and demands, which I'm not going to minimize. Those are really important. However, we have other aspects of self that need that care and love. It's time to give them a little bit of that energy, a little bit of that time. Setting some intentions, and if you need to, scheduling it in to your day so you have a more balanced day than what we're currently dealing with. When we balance things out, we feel more energized and more able to tackle some of these harder challenges. Follow the leader. Very much connected in to the Fool and to the Five of Cups. Well, that path, we need to put movement in that pathway. We need to start to add in these little shifts into our everyday. Like I said, I don't want you guys to run down a path and find that actually it's too scary and you start to backtrack and regress, because it's harder to get going again. Those little shifts, those little pieces that we can incorporate into our everyday go a long way into making the changes that we're looking for. Additionally, we have that support. Cups, they're an intuitive card. Well, the only way we're going to connect in with our higher vibrational support team is through our intuition and using our clairs. Being mindful of the messages that are being left for us. Taking that time, slowing down, and being open to what needs to be shared with us. It's going to support us in seeing and understanding our path more clearly and seeing and understanding ourselves more clearly. These are fantastic opportunities. However, we're the ones who need to do it. No one else can do it for us. It's up to us to do this, to embrace it. Now, looking at it, the Bone Collector is the first card in this Oracle deck. And then we have the 11th card in the Oracle deck. When you have that multiple one, the angels are telling you that you need to believe in yourself and your abilities. You're going to attract what you're thinking about. If we start to focus in on self and focus in on those two upright cups, we're going to see those shifts. We're going to be able to shift our challenge to an ally, creating the opportunities for some amazing adventures and abundances. Because like I said, the universe likes to reward us, and that reward, it comes in through support and further abundance in our adventure. So that perspective, it's an essential key to embracing this week. So we're going to end off with any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my rose quartz friends for the week of February 7th through the 13th. I'm loving this new deck. However, some of the cards are kind of sticking together still. Needs a little bit more work before that will release a bit. The Hierophant, the 5th card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at those supports. We're looking at those amazing high vibrational supports. The Hierophant is the keeper of keys, the keeper of opportunities. There are opportunities all around us. We need to raise our vibration so we can take the Hierophant's hand and allow them to guide us to these opportunities, to these doorways that are right here for the taking. We just haven't been that observant. We have not been paying attention to what's happening in the here and now. That present tense focus, it's another element that will support you in receiving the messages that we want and need, and embracing the opportunities that are going to make some nice shifts and, well, eventually changes in our lives. So the Hierophant is here to support us. Now, the Hierophant's also the 5th card in the Major Arcana, and then we also have the 5th card in the Cups. When you have that multiple 5, the angels are telling you a positive change is coming your way, and that we need to be excited for these next stages, these next steps, which is very true. It's exactly what we've been talking about. That focusing in on this next stage, shifting perspectives and paying attention to what's truly important. The 8 of Pentacles. We have another growth card, similar to that of the Empress. We have that growth in the development in the 8 of Pentacles. Now, 8s in tarot are about movement and manifestation. The more work we put into what it is we're trying to achieve, the more we give back to ourselves, the more we start to shift gears and focus in on that balance and on those aspects and pieces that are going right. Well, the more we're going to receive, the more we're going to grow, to develop, and what's more, we're going to be able to take those opportunities that get us out and over these challenges that we're facing, both on an individual and on a global scale. The more people who are working on self and developing those high vibrational energies, we start to shift as a collective, which helps to shift out some of these fears and doubts we're holding as a collective. It's an important aspect on us moving forward as a species. And then we have yet another pentacle, the 7 of Pentacles. Now, 7s can be a bit of a challenge card. However, they're a lucky number. So you're looking at, with a little bit of work, you're going to be victorious. Like I said before, the universe likes to reward us for our hard work. It's time to get down to business, start working in and focusing in on self and on elements that are going right, allowing them to grow and to develop so that you can continue forward, enjoying the here and now, and being rewarded for this hard work. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which helps people raise their vibration as a whole. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's so much more coming your way this year. It is fantastic. The best way to stay connected, though, is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. I don't post on a specific day. I like to post sporadically throughout the week. So not only is it keeping you on your toes, but the videos hit home when they need to. Additionally, if you did like this video and you want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. And you can go check it out. I did put a link in the description box below. So if you do feel like you want to support me, you can go check out my page, as it does have lots of perks, including a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. Like I said, I did provide a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Carnelian friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both Oracle cards here and the Tarot, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Carnelian friends. Whoa! Oh, the cards are jumping everywhere. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the week of February 7th through the 13th? Okay, let's see what card decided to take the leap of faith and hit the floor. Dry desert. Many of us feel like this, kind of walking aimlessly. It's a challenge, it's hot, it's exhausting. Yet, we're missing some of the important aspects and guidance that is right in front of us. We're not alone. We've got lots of high vibrational support. Should we take notice of it? Rather than focusing in on where we've been or that bleak horizon, looking and being observant to the supports that are right there. Additionally, like in any desert, you have elements of support. You've got that added support and tool that may not be as easily known. We may not see it as a tool. A lot of times we expect a tool to look like a tool, like a hammer or a saw, rather than an unexpected cactus that may be prickly and hard to use, but can give us life-sustaining resources. So, we need to start to pay attention to what's right in front of us, using the tools and elements that are right here, right now, to our advantage. Or else we're just going to be walking aimlessly, focusing on where we've been and focusing in on that horizon that doesn't seem to change too much. It's been a year of dealing with, what we're dealing with. And it's not changing. It's time to make some decisions for our greater good and using the tools that we need to support us in those decisions, in that amazing guidance. Let's get a little bit more clarity on this. What should my Carnelian friends focus in on this week? I'm glad that deck behaved, because sometimes it doesn't. But it is sassy. Smell. Stop and smell the roses. Inhale a pleasing fragrance. Use essential oils or flower essence to support you. Stop and smell the roses, huh? Didn't I just say we need to slow down and stop? Paying attention to what's right at hand. I love it when these decks communicate like this and really reinforce what I'm saying. It helps me to convey the message that the high vibrational beings are sending to you, and, well, in a sassy, fun format. Like I said, this week is about slowing down. It's about taking care of you and making some choices that are in your best interest. We don't need to make big, drastic changes. We can slowly make progression towards them. The important element is slowing down, receiving those messages, and strengthening and rejuvenating you. We're feeling that burn. We're feeling that heaviness. We can't get anywhere if we're dragging this weight with us. So, using those essential oils, those flower essence to start to rejuvenate you. Another tool that you can use to your advantage. And no, I'm not asking you to be some sort of botanist or herbal expert. We can start to dabble in different supports that are going to help us overcome these challenges, help us lessen that load. And essential oils, they're fantastic. They're easy to use and they're found almost everywhere. Just make sure you're not adding 100% concentrated essential oil to your skin, and be careful what you ingest because some of them can be pretty toxic. You can use an easy carrier oil and use it in a bath or as on a roller or how you need to use it. There's a lot of essential oil humidifiers or diffusers. Again, they're readily available. This doesn't need to cost a lot of money, and it doesn't need to be overwhelming. It should be pieces that are supportive for you. So, let's see what support this week is going to bring you. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the beginning, of the week? Now, if you didn't see the unboxing of this deck, I was so excited to get it. And it has been such a powerful deck. And it doesn't stop. Judgment, the 20th card in the Major Arcana. We need that guidance. And it's starting day 1. This guidance and support, which you can see in this bird here. That's what I keep pointing to. I'm not sure if it's on camera or not, but there's a little bird in the sky here. That guidance and direction, it's there. We need to slow down. We need to use this time to our advantage, gaining that insight, so we can start to make shifts in our perspective, shifts in our everyday that lead to some nice changes. They're progressive and sustainable. Both are very important. The beginning of the week, I encourage you to tap into our intuition, which I know can be a tall order and can be a little bit overwhelming. How do you do that? Well, one of the ways you can do that is through a meditation that I brought out with Archangel Raziel. We're looking at working with that intuitive energy. And if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure what I'm talking about here, I have 2 playlists. They're both meditation playlists. The first one is a healing meditation that I work with archangels with. I combine their energy and my energy to create a very powerful healing meditation. The next playlist is a Just You and Me playlist, where it's, just you and me, where we look at some tools that are going to support you in overcoming what it is we're dealing with. Now, both these playlists are free to you, and you can use them as you need. And each time you use them, you will continue to reap the benefits of the meditation. And if it's a healing meditation, of that healing meditation. It's a fantastic system to support you along your journey. And like I said, sometimes the tools come in unexpected ways. So one of the ways we can do that, of course, is through working with Archangel Raziel. He's a fantastic archangel to help align us with our spiritual journey, help open us up to our amazing gifts and our powers that we've been storing and in some cases avoiding. The important aspect, of course, is that slowing down and trying to connect in, being open and helping ourselves open up to this message and guidance that's right there. So at the beginning of the week, we're looking at that intuitive message. Let's go into the middle of the week. Whoa, what can my Carnelian friends expect from the middle of the week? the Two of Swords. That balance and decision making. Like I said, at some point in time, we have to make a very conscious decision. We can keep on our path, focusing on where we've been and hyper-focusing in on that non-changing horizon. At some point, we do need to make some decisions that are for our greater good. We don't want to do leaps and bounds towards that new goal. We want to shift in a slow, progressive manner, creating and maintaining that stability so that we don't lose sight of what it is we're doing and our ego doesn't take over and slow us down, stopping us from gaining further guidance. Because when we become unstable and unsure in a big shift or change, a leap of faith, if you will, we regress backwards. And then trying to get out of that regression is even harder because we have added fear and concerns about what happened the last time we tried to make some changes and decisions for us. That guidance, that time for self, it's going to pay off with further and clearer understanding, helping us to make a very clear and well-informed decision. We need to use our critical thinking right now, not just following that path, not following the herd. We need to start to assess our situation and what's happening for us and how the guidance that we're receiving is asking us to make some shifts. And the high vibrational beings are not going to say, oh, I want you to jump off and do this amazing leap of faith. Don't worry, I've got you. They know that doesn't work. If that's how they're working, if that's what you're picking up, ask them to slow it down, to bring it into manageable pieces so that you're not trying to make drastic changes that cause instability. We want that stable, consistent shift that creates the change that they're looking at. When we have that stability, we're able to maintain it. We're able to build ourselves up and create the foundation we need to overcoming that very bleak and harsh horizon and challenge we're facing. So the middle of the week, we're going to gain some clarity, better understanding. We're going to start to connect these dots. Judgment in this deck has swords. And swords in tarot and oracle, you're looking at that knowledge. We need to use the knowledge for knowledge's sake, ensuring we don't get tangled up in that heartache and pain that ego likes to bring in when we're dealing with knowledge. We're emotional beings. We attach emotion to events, to knowledge, to situations. We need to use our head in gaining that knowledge. Our heart is only going to misdirect us because it's wrapped up in that fear and heartache. And that's not going to help us at all this week. Let's go on to the end of the week. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the end of the week? Interesting. We have Kylo Ren again. Justice. That balance, like I said, in the Two of Swords is very important. And then we have justice. Now, justice is that right and wrong. Not necessarily looking at that legality and the right and wrong, black and white aspect. More about balancing out your situation. Using the sword of truth, which comes with the justice card, to cut away aspects and pieces that aren't working. We know the path we're on, it's got a lot of challenges. It's not working so well for us. We need to start to amend our path to bring it into alignment with our soul's deeper purpose, allowing us to connect into more fulfillment and joy, turning this desert into an oasis. And justice is going to do that. We're going to have that ability to start to cut away some of that heaviness, some of that stuff that's bogging us down. Now, I do have another meditation that can support us in cutting out some of that heaviness and stagnation that's holding us back. Last week, I published a meditation in my Just You and Me series. It's, I think, going to be one of many where we look at getting unstuck. And that's what it's called, getting unstuck. Helping us to move forward in a positive, high vibrational way that starts to cut away and break free of this stagnation. It's a fantastic meditation to visit or revisit as you need to get yourself going, get yourself unstuck, start to balance you out. Now, if balance is something that really intrigues you, I do have a balancing meditation in my Just You and Me playlist that helps you to balance out your inner chakra system to bring in that feeling of balance and harmony within. Another fantastic meditation that you can use to your advantage. We have 2 balancing cards at the end of the week, and we can use that balance to support us in gaining further guidance, helping us to raise our vibration so that this guidance isn't so hard to hear. So, we know that we've got quite the week. We're looking at slowing down a bit and being open to these messages and guidance. Let's look at what's going to slow us down. Let's look at that challenge for the week. What challenge will my Carnelian friends face for the week of February 7th through the 13th? The 4 of Swords. Yet another sword to our collection. Now, before we get going on what the 4 of Swords means, let's look at that double sword. Because we have swords, swords, and the 2 of Swords. That multiple 2. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 2, the angels are telling you that it's time to listen to your intuition and keep the faith. Don't give up. Which is really important, especially given what we're dealing with this week. So, back to the 4 of Swords. 4s, of course, are a foundational number. The sword, like I said, it's all about knowledge. The 4 of Swords talks about rest and rejuvenation. We're going to resist that need to slow down. If we slow down, we're going to be in this space even longer. And why would we do that? We just need to plow and go and go and go. Well, you're wasting energy because you're going to end up right back at the same situation. It's time to slow down, to gain the guidance and the tools that we need to support us in making those shifts out of what we're dealing with. Yes, we're dealing with a global challenge. However, individual choices of high vibration for your greater good will help you shift out of the challenges that the global situation is providing. And the more of us who do that, we start to shift perspectives and energies on a global scale, causing this desert to gain that much needed rain and moisture. So we need to embrace that time for self embrace that rejuvenation. I don't know if that's going to sit that way. All right, we're going to sit it this way then. So that we can turn the Four of Swords from an obstacle to an ally, supporting us in gaining that insight and that knowledge that we need to help us shift out of this desert, to help us shift out of this challenge. So we can easily use that obstacle as an unseen and unnoticed tool to support us in our journey, support us in our week. One of the ways that we are able to really connect into this rest and rejuvenation is through meditation. And all my meditations are guided meditations. They're about 30 minutes, so you can fit it in and balance out your day. You don't have to spend an absorbent amount of time on something. You can take that time and just focus in on you for short bursts. So let's go on to some added blessings, some added supports for this week. Whoa! What blessings can my... Jeez, they're falling out everywhere. Carnelian friends embrace for the week of February 7th through the 13th. The cards are really jumpy today, and I enjoy that. It shows that these cards have to come out. The high vibrational beings, they really want to make sure that you have these cards. The first card, Sacred Pool. Such a fantastic card. That energy that we exert out is going to be reflected back at us. It's important we're careful of what energies we're expelling. If we're focusing in on that fear, that heartache, well, the law of karma is going to kick us in the butt. However, if we take that time and make that shift, we do an energy and perspective shift of focusing in on the abundance and on positivity and love, we're going to be able to shift ourselves out. We're going to use the law of karma to our advantage. When we start to focus in on the light and love, those positive aspects that are within us, those things that are going right in our lives, well, we do an energetic shift. And the higher our energy level, the easier it is for those high vibrational beings to share their wisdom, to gain that guidance that we're looking for. So, being mindful of the energy that we expel this week will support us in receiving that guidance and shifting ourselves out of our current situation. Awesome. Listening. Like I said at the beginning, we're not alone. They're always there. Our guardian angel hardly leaves us. Very rarely do they leave us. And they are always supporting us. They hear us. There's no disruption in that communication. Just like the fact that we can always hear our ego screaming at us, telling us that we're not good enough, telling us that we're wrong, that we need to stay put. That low vibration is a lot easier to hear than the high. And we're a lower vibration than they are, so they can hear us. And they are listening. We're just not listening to them. We need to shift that. Like I said, little shifts. It's easy to incorporate into our everyday. Easier to maintain because it's going to be rewarded when we start to listen to those messages. We start to listen to our higher self, our intuition. The universe starts to reward us with added supports, added abundances that again are going to help us in making this journey and this challenge a lot less challenging. We're going to take a path that has least resistance. And that path can be really appreciated right now, especially from what we're dealing with. We need that abundance. We need that added support that the universe will provide when we start to make some decisions that are for our greater good. Making those small shifts will be rewarded. It's amazing how much an energy shift can change the outlook and the feel of your week. So let's go on to any further supports I can help you out with. What further guidance, support, and wisdom can we share with my Carnelian friends for the week of February 7th through the 13th? The Nine of Pentacles, that abundance. Like I just said, we need to focus in on what's going right. It's going to bring us that foundation that we need for further growth, for further development through shifts of perspective, of energy, and guidance. Focusing in on those positive aspects are literally like building blocks. They give us that foundation that we need to help us break the path that we're currently on. The Emperor, the fourth card in the Major Arcana. Now, the Emperor is a card of stability. Anytime in tarot you see that 4, you're looking at a stable foundational number. And the Emperor, well, he is the epitome of foundation, has that stability and structure that we need. Now this week, at the end of the week, we're looking at the Chinese Zodiac shifting gears. We're going to be entering into the year of the bull. Now the bull in itself is that earthy, stable energy. It's a workhorse, works on self, kind of has that stubborn feel, which is very true of the Emperor. We're going to have that energy throughout the next 12 months. We can use that to our advantage. Use it as a tool to support us. That foundation and the lack of fear when it comes to some hard work. Because even these shifts that I'm talking about can seem a little bit challenging. You know, when you're dealing with a lot of challenges and, well, harshness of life, how do you focus in on the positive? It can feel pretty overwhelming. Using our willpower, our drive, and our creativity, we can do it. But it's up to us to put that energy into us and our situation, rather than in that loop we're caught in. So, that foundation, that stability, it's needed. One of the ways that we can focus in and bring that stable energy to us, well, of course, we can use essential oils or flower essence to our advantage. I don't use a lot of flower essence in my everyday, so I can't speak to it, but I can talk about the essential oils because I do use those. You want that earthy smell to support you. Now, one of the ways you can do that is through cinnamon. Most of us have cinnamon in our kitchen, ground up cinnamon. We add it to baking and to cooking. You could take a little bowl or container, add some cinnamon, some ground cinnamon or cinnamon sticks, and have that help fragrance your room. It adds that air of stability. You can add something like sandalwood. You could add in some cedar, some pine. We want that earthy energy. Again, you can also use some crystals to your advantage. Tiger iron like that, it's a fantastic stability, and grounded energy. You could also use something like black tourmaline or any crystal that is in the red or black hue. You want to connect into your root chakra here. So, using that knowledge to our advantage. These tools, they're all around us. We need to take that time and use them to our advantage. And finally, the Page of Wands. Pages are that carefree, innocent child energy that's full of inquisitive, playful energy. We need that now. Like I said before, we need that fun. We need that play and happiness. That joy. We need to have that reflected back at us. And there is nothing more joyous than some fun and play. Connecting in our creativity and our passions. When we start to focus in on those creative, passion-filled aspects of self, well, we're not focusing in on that harshness that we're dealing with. Shifting our energies. Using those positive, high vibrational, loving, joyous energies to our advantage. Now, when we do partake in that creativity, in that passion, well, not only are we shifting our perspective and our energies, we're focusing in on something that's life-giving, helping with that abundance, helping with that joy. But it also gives the high vibrational beings in the universe an in, if you will. They're more able to share that insight, that wisdom, put in extra supports that we need to help us through this challenge. Like I said, the universe likes to reward us for our work. And some of that work doesn't need to be daunting or overwhelming. It can be as easy as getting your hands dirty and having some fun in a creative way. And no, I don't mean arts and crafts. So if you're new to my channel, creativity is how you express yourself. It's whatever modality that you're able to express you in a way that is meaningful for you. And I've got clients that are computer programmers, and that's how they express themselves. That's their creative outlet. So go with it. It doesn't mean that we have to be arts and crafts or builder of some sort. Whatever avenue that helps to express you, and when you're doing it, you're having fun, and time flies. You gain additional inspiration and excitement. And you gain that fulfillment in life. That's what we need to bring in more into our everyday. Balancing ourselves out. Not getting stuck in focusing in on the future or stuck in the past. Being in the present, being in our passions and our creativity goes a long way in shifting gears and shifting perspectives. Creating that shift and change that you want without that instability of fear. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which helps people raise their vibration as a whole. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's so much more coming your way this year. It is fantastic. The best way to stay connected, though, is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. I don't post on a specific day. I like to post sporadically throughout the week. So not only is it keeping you on your toes, but the videos hit home when they need to. Additionally, if you did like this video and you want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. And you can go check it out. I did put a link in the description box below. So if you do feel like you want to support me, you can go check out my page, as it does have lots of perks, including a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. Like I said, I did provide a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Carnelian friends,